Professor Eytan Gilboa joins us now, a U.S. expert and political analyst at Bar Ilan University. Professor, thanks for being with us. You know, a lot of people who are not really in the weeds of American politics and understand the nuances of funding packages may wonder simply, you know, that Israel, a key ally, we're fighting our longest war in 75 years, since the actual war for independence, and this follows the biggest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. So why is it, you know, a political, controversial issue to vote on a single, easy-to-understand bill that focuses only on Israel and provides weapons to Israel as it conducts this fight?
Let us try explain. I think the main problem is domestic politics in a presidential election year. Biden wants a package deal that includes funding for a number of places like Ukraine, security border, Israel, Taiwan, and humanitarian aid and other issues. He wants a package deal because there is much consensus about aid to Israel, but debates between Republicans and Democrats on the other issues. So Biden is using Israel as a locomotive for the entire aid bill. He knows that aid to Israel is popular and therefore wants to exploit it to approve the other funding that are much more controversial. And there is also a debate between the Senate and the House. So the House separated aid to Israel from the other issues. The Senate has just put them together, and there are some differences about the size of funding. So Israel has been caught in the middle between Republicans and Democrats and the House and the Senate.
Professor, everywhere President Biden goes now, he is harassed and interrupted by pro-Palestinian speakers. In perhaps the most important swing state, the key battleground state of Michigan, home to America's largest Palestinian and in general Arab population, mayors, Democratic political leaders, they're not meeting with Biden or his representatives. They are furious with him. Rarely does foreign policy drive American voters in a presidential election. Is this going to be an exception? Will the ongoing Israel war against Hamas in Gaza perhaps swing the election? Will it influence votes?
Yes, this is very strange. There are groups inside the Democratic Party, the Muslims and progressives, and even some young people who have opposed Biden's strong support of Israel in its war against Hamas terrorists in Gaza. You rightly mentioned Michigan, because in 2020, Biden won the elections there by mere 100,000 votes. There are about 150,000 Muslims. They threaten not to vote for Biden, which seems odd and strange, because not voting for Biden may bring Trump back to the White House. And Trump said that he is going to expel anyone who supports Hamas in the United States and would prohibit the entry from any Palestinians into the United States. So this is like a self-defeating strategy. Apparently, Biden's campaign strategies are worried about it, because this is the reason why he made a strong statement in support of a Palestinian state on the eve of his visit to Michigan last week.
I want to ask Professor about the visit today of the Knesset Speaker Amir Ohana, who is in the U.S. He's meeting with the House Speaker Mike Johnson. Do we know what Ohana, who is a right-wing lawmaker, what does he think of this standalone bill, and what influence, perhaps, if any, will he have on Capitol Hill when Congress takes their votes?
In normal years and in normal days, the Republicans, Democrats, the House and the Senate are compromising on many issues. This year is different. And while the Senate, Republicans and Democrats in the Senate have been able to come up with a package bill that answers Biden's purposes. In the House, it's a different story. It seems that Trump's supporters in the House are blocking. Mike Johnson, the Speaker, is sabotaging the package. Someone has to make a compromise. I think it would be in the interest of Israel for the Republicans to make a compromise, because the president could veto, and he threatened to veto, any package that would not be in line with his wishes. So I hope that Ohana will be able to persuade the Speaker to reach a compromise on the package deal, because otherwise, we have seen that for about 4 months, it's not working, and Israel needs that funding for munition and military equipment. And also, I hope that Ohana is going to be able to persuade Democratic senators and members of Congress to disagree with Senator Bernie Sanders, who said first that Hamas should be evicted from Gaza. Now he is saying that the United States should supply Israel only with defensive weapons. So I'm asking him how he thinks Hamas should be evicted from Gaza. Hamas is not a social worker organization. It's a terrorist organization. And a terrorist organization should be dealt with force, because otherwise it's not complying with what we want it to do. We have seen that also in various contacts about the release of hostages, Israeli hostages kept by Hamas in Gaza.
Yeah. Professor Gilboa, thanks so much for your analysis here on this big issue shaping up on Capitol Hill today.